Marjorie Taylor Green, representative from Georgia, has been swatted. And holy crap, a beehive got kicked over. Hi everyone, Mr. Constitution here. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for checking out my video. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Marjorie Taylor Green is a representative from Georgia. She's got a reputation of being out there, being she's very pro-Trump, very MAGA-oriented, and has a bit of a reputation for being outspoken and outlandish. But for all of that, she's kind of a darling on the right. There are lots of people. She's got a lot of fans, a lot of people who really enjoy her. I don't know her super well. I think she's got some good stances on some things. I think she's a little crazy on others. And this one, though, she is dead wrong, despite what happened to her. Here's the deal. Swatting, for those of you who don't know, is a phenomenon on the internet where randos who maybe don't like someone on the internet basically call their local PD if they know where they live and usually make an anonymous tip that something terrible has happened at this person's address. The cops show up in full force, and oftentimes it causes this person, the target of the swatting, to have to interact with the police. It wastes police resources, and there have actually been cases where people have died as a result of swatting. One case, I believe in Arizona, was a man was swatted when he wasn't even the target of the swatting. Two guys on Call of Duty get into it. One of them takes it the wrong way, gets kind of butthurt, and calls the police to an old address of his chat interlocutor, but the stranger has no idea what's going on. He answers his door with a gun, and the police kill him. A terrible story. In my opinion, swatting should be along the same lines as attempted murder, because that's literally what you're trying to do. You're literally calling the police and convincing them that something terrible has happened and that full force is required to deal with the situation, and then bad things happen. So swatting is terrible. And the fact that this happened to an elected representative, that's not great, people. This is not good. So let's be clear. Swatting is not okay. But MTG's response has been worse. Here's why. Let's get into it. How swatting site Kiwi Farms has created a bizarre alliance between MAGA's Marjorie Taylor Green and transgender activists. I think it's safe to say, y'all, that if you are on the same side as a transgender activist, you're probably on the wrong side. So, here's what's going on. Marjorie Taylor Green. Trans activists have long campaigned against Kiwi Farms, a trolling website that the New York Magazine once referred to as the web's biggest community of stalkers. But on Wednesday, an unlikely ally joined the fight to get the famously transphobic forum taken offline. First of all, I think it's interesting that a trolling website, huh? Okay, I don't know much about Kiwi Farms, but we're going to get into them in a little bit. Marjorie Taylor Green, the far-right Georgia Republican, joined the chorus of people calling for action against Kiwi Farms after she was targeted by a swatting incident linked to the website by police. So this article goes on to say that basically someone called the police, gave them a username from Kiwi Farms, and said that terrible things were happening at Marjorie Taylor Green's address. Yeah, so this has every element of a false flag you could ever see. I mean, if you're going to call in a tip for a swatting, you're not going to give any kind of identifiable information. There's no way. No one with a brain does that. No one with a brain does that. So the fact that this call came from someone supposedly as a user on Kiwi Farms, I mean, does Kiwi Farms benefit from this swatting call? I think clearly not. Now they've got a representative, someone with some serious power, gunning for them. And we really think Kiwi Farms, a user of Kiwi Farms, is responsible? I don't know. That seems a little sketch. So this article goes on to basically say that Kiwi Farms is a site. It was originally kind of dedicated to chronicling the saga of Christine Weston Chandler, also known as Chris Chan, or Sonichu. So if you don't know the Sonichu saga, the lore is deep on that one, and I recommend going to another site, another web channel or YouTube channel to find out what's going on there. It's a pretty disturbing and disgusting case. So you've been warned. But the site eventually kind of branches out, and from best I can tell. And actually, you know what? Let's do this now. So, a statement from Kiwi Farms. So, the kiwifarms.net, their website, is down. You cannot get to it. They have just kind of a splash page up giving updates, but apparently the site has been under a DDoS attack for quite a while and is not currently up. They're trying to fix it. They're trying to go through some things. But here is a general statement from Kiwi Farms about the entire situation. So, Kiwi Farms is an online discussion forum about people on the internet. It is without agenda. If you want to talk about a public figure and their presence online, there is likely a space to do it on my website. All I ask of my users is that they keep a cool head, a good sense of humor, and stay strictly within the boundaries of U.S. law. Interesting. In the digital era, personal reputation has become a very valuable form of capital. Google, Wikipedia, online news outlets, and other large websites allow public figures meticulous control over their public perception. When a community of random anonymous nobodies can set up a forum and talk about a person candidly, there is control. Where this control does not exist, it creates problems for influential people. The opponents of this forum lie about its purpose and character. They misinterpret our speech as violence, our information as harassment, and our discussions as stalking. Google cleans up their search results. The news prints their hit pieces. Wikipedia canonizes those stories as truth. Instantly, the general public is left with one narrative available to them. The mob then harasses innocent people running unrelated third-party services by sending emails in the thousands and threatening their families. This mob claims to be oppressed when they can summon $100,000 out of thin air and bend multi-billion-dollar organizations to do what they want. Meanwhile, our website is down through criminal behavior. Any outlet I use to discuss the ongoing attack is also targeted. Interesting. They have tried to justify this behavior with the logic that we do not respond to anything except fear. What I fear more than losing my sight, being sued, or dealing with the police is living in a world where fat eunuchs can groom little boys and girls into mutilating their bodies and taking drugs in secret, while normal people are not allowed to even discuss it. The mob has already planned subsequent targets. Should we stay down, they will then attack gender-critical communities, especially those ran by and for women. No place can exist online which allows criticism of their fetishistic lifestyle, and nothing would excite them more than this power and domination struggle being inflicted on a female space instead. They've made it clear that I and my family will be targeted for abuse and violence regardless of if I keep the site up or let it stay down. I have no reason to do anything but continue forward. Fuck these people. See you soon, Joshua Moon. Joshua Moon is the operator of Kiwi Farms. So this is what Kiwi Farms says about itself. Trolling site, who knows? Probably in the eye of the beholder. All this controversy, all of this really comes down to whether or not you believe in free speech. Whether or not you believe in free speech is crucial. And let me tell you this. If you believe in free speech for everyone except people you don't like, you don't believe in free speech. Free speech means free speech. You get to say what you want to say. And the government can do nothing about it. Should do nothing about it. The government can't stop your speech. Oh, but these are private entities. They can if a private company wants to stop serving a corporate interest, serving a customer, that's their personal right. No! Because private companies that become government actors don't get to censor speech. And if a government comes to tell you, hey, we need you to censor speech, guess what? You're a government actor. You don't get to censor speech. The Supreme Court is clear on this. There are many cases where the government tries to coerce or convince a private entity or work through a private entity to suppress speech. And the court has been clear. The government doesn't get to do that. Free speech is foundational to our culture, to our society. A society that does not have free speech is on the road to tyranny. Free speech, the free flow of information, is crucial and the best defense against tyranny. Free speech means free speech. And that means that people on the internet are going to say some things that you don't like. They might release information that you don't want out there. Guess what? They're allowed to do that. A lot of people don't know this, don't like this, but doxing someone is not illegal. You have no expectation of privacy when it comes to your address. None. Think about how many times you provide your address to someone. You give it to Amazon has it, Google has it, your post office has it, your fire department has it. Everyone has your address. You can literally walk by someone's house, see the street number, and have their address. There is no expectation of privacy. You have no privacy to your address. So it's not illegal to dox someone. Now, you shouldn't do it. It's a dick move. I would not encourage anyone to put someone's personal information out on the internet. It's not okay. But there's no expectation of privacy. There's no expectation of privacy when it comes to your address. Doxing is legal. Deal with it. It's a result of living in a free speech society where people can say stuff you don't agree with. That's good. We want that. Even if you don't like whatever happened to, I disagree with what you're saying, sir, but I'll fight to the death for your right to say it. Whatever happened to that? And this equation of speech with violence, that's crazy. That's crazy. Violence is violence. Violence is violence. Speech is speech. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So we got to call people out when they're spouting bullshit like this. Marjorie Taylor Green is wrong to try to shut down a private company because her information was out there. Guess what? You're a public official. You're a public official. Your address should be even more public. Now, should people show up on your lawn and protest at your house? No, of course not. We live in a civil society. There's a time and a place for things. But just because your information is out there doesn't mean you get to just shut down a business. Doesn't mean you get to just shut down a website. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Free speech is free speech. We used to realize that. We used to know that as a country. What happened? When did we become such pansies that we can't deal with the fact that someone on the internet who I've never met before, who doesn't know me, who can only speculate on my life, said something mean about me on the internet? Even if it's not true, you get to say things. You get to say things. Oh, well, what about defamation? You can't say defamatory things. Yeah, that's because you're not... defamation isn't speech. Defamation is lying to harm someone's reputation. That's an action. Free speech means getting to share your opinion. People can say, oh, this Mr. Constitution guy, he's crazy. They're allowed to say that. They can say all kinds of horrible, horrible things about you, about me, about our families. That's free speech. It's protected by something like somewhere in the Constitution, right? So we got to call this crap out no matter what side it's on. Okay? Marjorie Taylor Green, she's a Republican, kind of a darling of the right. This trans activist who goes by Keffels online, whoever that is, they both want to censor speech, and that's not okay. You don't get to do that. This is America. Come on, people. We got to hold these people accountable, especially people in our government. Especially people in our government. You cannot censor speech. You literally don't have the power. Anyway, happy Monday, everyone. We're kicking things off with a bang. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. There's a lot of great videos out there for this on this topic. Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law did a great rundown and breakdown on it, way better than I could. If you liked it, I will put a tile for it at the end of the video. He's got a lot better, a much deeper knowledge of the situation. I really enjoyed it, but I'm just trying to add my voice here and stand up for freedom because we need it, apparently, even from the right. And that's crazy to me. Free speech is free speech, and even if you don't like it, especially if you don't like it. So, if you like what you heard here, please leave a like and a comment, hit the subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. Help me grow the channel. Thanks for sticking around. If you're here still, I really appreciate it. Share this with your friends, and go out and have a great day. Thanks, everyone. And remember, freedom is risk. Now let's get out there and be risky.